Dover Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. We'll stay up to the heavyweight news, you know what I'm saying? Got some heavyweight news with Joseph Parker and, Oleksandr Usyk. But before, you got little news, here and there, because Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder then gave their first press conference and, talking smack to each other. The Wilder going to say he's going to knock you out. He's going to aim for the eye. He's going to end the head and everything else. Tyson Fury said he's going to knock Deontay Wilder out in 2 rounds, right? So, it's going down. These are 2 showmen. It's going to be going down, leading up to the fight. It is what it is. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be doing about every little thing, right? Like today, the headlines all over the place, which is ridiculous when it's Tyson Fury, But, hey, he masturbates 7 times a day preparing for the fight with Deontay Wilder. I don't even read it because I just mixed. I don't want to read that. You know what I mean? And I ain't going to just do you guys like that neither. Talking about how many times I do masturbate getting ready for Deontay Wilder. This is Tyson Fury we're talking about. Showman, he knows how to provoke. He's very provocative, been doing it for a long time. This is how he rolls. That's why I use the word whatever with Tyson Fury. If he's training to get ready for Deontay Wilder, then that's what the bottom line is. Because last time I didn't think he was going to show up for the fight. He showed up and showed out, right? So this time I'm not going to do him like that. He went over there to fight Wilder and Swartz, led me to believe we might not ever get the fight, but he's there and he's ready to go. And like I said in the last video, he's the favorite. So more power to him. Let's see what happens. But the little antics that he does, hey, I got to go with the word. Whatever. But it's going to be a good fight. Let's see what up. It gets more and more significant as we go on. The articles you see, just make sure you guys remember what we were talking about. Deontay Wilder is the underdog here. Very important. So, speaking of Deontay Wilder, he got knocked out in sparring by Vladimir Klitschko. You know what I mean? Boom. Vladimir Klitschko must have hit him with a left hook, left him on the ground, out cold and twitching. That's what Dillian White say. I told you Dillian White say everything except I'm going to fight Luis Ortiz next. But, if I, hit me up if the dude said, hey, I'm going to fight Luis Ortiz next. It would never happen. So, he's going to keep saying things about Deontay Wilder. He's got knocked out in sparring with Vladimir Klitschko, which is cool information. Like Tyson Fury said. Well, a lot of Tyson Fury said, I heard that too. Got knocked out in sparring. Shoot, a lot of stuff happened in sparring. Cool that it happens in sparring and not in championship fights. Yeah, that's my opinion. Whatever. We got them all been knocked out. We got all kind of everybody been knocked out, knocked down, or whatever in sparring. Obviously, you learned something because Deontay Wilder ain't been getting hit by left hooks lately. So maybe he's learned something. They all been. So whatever. It's come from Dillian White. For me right now, whatever. It's the good thing to say, to get your base fired up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, well, they all do it. The politicians, get your base fired up. I better say something about Obama. And here's Obama is just Deontay Wilder. Let me say something about Deontay Wilder. It makes a few of my little English fans happy, to say Ortiz then. That's all I gotta say. Say that. And then we can dance. So whatever. So we got knocked out. That must mean that Deontay Wilder learned from something, getting knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko, and that could happen. That left hook. Ask Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev wasn't in a hurry to get knocked down or out. That left hook came 2 times. Bam, bam. Messed Pulev up. So that's probably the one he hit Deontay Wilder with. At this point, who cares? 42-0 with 41 knockouts. Really, whatever. That means you learn something. And I'm pretty sure everybody has stories. But, so those are kind of like news that happened in boxing. Now, through all of that, that's why I'm going to do my extra video for them. It's all whatever, really. Get to something that's not really whatever. It kind of irked me from yesterday. I let it just sit in and figure out how to talk to you guys about it. Now, Joseph Parker and Oleksandr Usyk could possibly fight for the WBO vacant title if Joshua gives it up. And he is going to give it up. There's a lot of reasons for that. We can talk about it, but we won't get into it. But, the WBO title would be in-house in Matchroom Boxing, right? He probably is going to fight the IBF mandatory challenger, Kubrat Pulev. He's 38. I think Joshua fancies his chances better with him. And whatever, if he has to fight these guys. If he's not going to fight Undisputed, then why not? So it's going to probably be Pulev, right? So that would leave the WBO to strip him or him give the belts up, however it is going to happen, however the ceremony goes. The belts will probably be vacant. Oleksandr Usyk and Joseph Parker to fight for that. Because Oleksandr Usyk, they were trying to get Derek Chisora in there. So, we don't know which one it's going to be. But Joseph Parker's team has answered, his, I don't know, promoter, David Higgins. Now, David Higgins then come out and said something very significant, guys. And he said, listen, make sure they know something, Usyk's team, with the A side. And the split got to be 70-30. 70% for us, 30 for them. Now, how would someone take that? Anybody that's been in here more than once, if you don't know, this will be the very first time. But anybody come in here know I roll with Joe. I roll with me some Joseph Parker. He would be in my top 5 heavyweights, but I just did my top 5 heavyweights, and they would be Deontay Wilder 1, Tyson Fury 2, Adam Konopka 3, Luis Ortiz 4, Anthony Joshua 5. That's mine, because I know people ain't trying to fight Konopka. But Joseph Parker is right there. Just this year, he didn't have to fight anybody but Alex Lepai. So because of that year, I can't have him in my top 5, but he's right there in terms of talent. Hence his fights with Derek Chisora. No, Derek Chisora, but with Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. We've talked about that several times. So this is a good fighter, Joseph Parker. Very good fighter, right? And he has an exposure in the UK because those fights took place in the UK, right? But David Higgins coming out saying that sounds like we ain't trying to have a fight. That's what it sounds like to a lot of ears. People that aren't going to roll with Joe, like I do, are going to hear that and say, oh, so you obviously don't want to have a fight. Because you can argue for Joseph Parker. Let's stay at Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker won both of those close fights with Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. Really didn't lose him in my eyes, right? Because of all the circumstances that were going on, referee or both fights, stuff like that, right? Never being readdressed, and beating Andy Ruiz Jr. He's the only one that done that besides Joshua now, right? And he did it with a fitter, Andy Ruiz Jr. So he's in the mix. He is known in all of that. He was the WBO champ, too, winning it against Andy Ruiz Jr., the vacant title. So he'll be fighting for the vacant title again. Those are our Joseph Parker arguments, right? And I roll with Joe. But then again, you guys also know Ukraine bring the pain, right? Oleksandr Usyk is boxing royalty. It's boxing royalty in the scheme of things of boxing. Someone who is willing to go to everyone else's backyard and become undisputed champion in a division that's just lower, the cruiserweight division, or any division right now, is boxing royalty. Because the guys that are famous, the guys that people like, I just did a video about Canelo and he about to try to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Don't nobody like it. Because, what are we talking about Billy Joe Saunders? And when he could be undisputed in his weight division, the middleweight division, right? They want him to go anywhere. People don't want their fighters to go for undisputed. As soon as someone gets dangerous, then they will say, who has that person fought? Not knowing that I don't have time to be talking to them about that. You know what I'm saying? Because just simply nobody that's dangerous has a great resume. That's the point. People are not fighting them for years. And then you can go and you continue to say, no one's fighting them, right? No one's fighting them. So the bottom line is when you have an Usyk or a Terrence Crawford who have become undisputed, and Usyk even with cherry on top, going to everybody's backyard, literally, then he deserves special credit. Period. Even against Joseph Parker, even at the WBO, even at heavyweight. Okay? Red carpet treatment. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Red carpet treatment. Anything else is boom. You understand? That's the only thing. Rolling with Joe is one thing. But telling this guy, boxing royalty, to just won't be 70-30, I don't give a damn who's known more where. But we don't care about that here. That hence Canelo should have to fight somebody undisputed in his weight division. Everybody in boxing doesn't care about the other guys. They say, we want this guy, and they don't care. Sounds like Republicans right now. Don't care what's going on with our Constitution right now. It's being trampled upon. Some people just really don't care. Have no empathy for the other guys that should be fighting, that should be famous, that should get the opportunities. Literally don't. Right? That's the world we live in. Bad is way more sexy than good. So there you have it. And that's why when I see a person like Oleksandr Usyk do what he did in boxing, it stands out. It just does. As soon as you start paying attention to boxing, and you see what the fighters are doing and getting away with, other than just the talent and what everybody will say who they are and how good they are, and they don't have to do the things that the other ones do. And there's obviously people that they are really avoiding, blackballing, literally in boxing, Rigondeaux, Ortiz, whatever, just ridiculousness. Then Oleksandr Usyk sticks out like a sore thumb. And with that being said, Joseph Parker and his team, and I'm guaranteeing you, Joseph Parker or his trainer, Kevin Barry, are not really going to, they're not going to echo that. They probably won't say nothing about it, but I don't see Joseph Parker or Kevin Barry's coming in and say, hey, 7:30, and we're going to disrespect Oleksandr Usyk because what he did was in the cruiserweight division. I don't think they're going to do that. Now, David Higgins, what I've told you guys about promoters is a little bit different. What promoters do you like when you start getting the information? You like Bob Arum? You like Oscar De La Hoya? You like Eddie Hearn? You like Don King? You know what I'm saying? Promoters. I don't know, there's not really too many promoters that are liked. You know what I'm saying? Because their job is to lie. Basically, let's just be honest. Their job is to lie to you, right? So that's going to happen. Dave Higgins could probably be saying that. I don't know if he's trying to get the leverage right away, but I don't think that's a good thing for Joseph Parker's image, because I think Joseph Parker has a better character than that. I think Joseph Parker would respect Oleksandr Usyk. Can Joseph Parker be the A side versus Usyk? Probably, but a little stretching it at 60-40, 55-45, or whatever. But Oleksandr Usyk should be welcome to the heavyweight division with the red carpet treatment, and with people understanding, and boxing fans all over the world. Listen, in no divisions are there anybody that's undisputed, and in most divisions, no one is trying. Every time that you get close to it, they get mad at you. If you talk about it, they don't want it. We talk about the middleweight; it's absolutely absurd over there, and no one wants it. Hence that Canelo video. Go to it. But yesterday or the day before, why we should ignore Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders. No one at all, because they just want to say, hey, this guy is the best. And every time you say, oh, well, here's a champion that wants to fight him, undefeated champion that speaks English too, by the way. Don't, no, who has that guy fought? Excuse me, you don't ask champions who they fought. You can do that to prospects. Championship, you can get a belt by beating him, the reason why we're fighting, right? All of that. Because that guy makes it dangerous. We can't say this guy is the best if he fights that guy. That's why we'll keep putting this guy higher on the pound for pound, and we won't put this guy anywhere. So the casual fan can do that. And as soon as somebody gets dangerous and says something, ooh, hurry up and put some bad comments there. So hey, stomp that out. That's how that is. That's how that works. That's the world we living in. But bottom line is, Oleksandr Usyk is undisputed at cruiserweight division. And I will repeat it one more time. He went to everyone's backyard to do it. If it was Berlin with Marcus Huck, if it was Latvia, but Maurice Brides, do you know how good Maurice Brides is to beat him in Latvia? Then go shut Marat Gassiev out in Russia to become undisputed cruiserweight championship. And then the hot guy that used to be cruiserweight that was up there messing with David Haye, Tony Bellew, to go to Liverpool and beat him up in his backyard. And we're asking questions. Whatever guy you like in boxing, if his name is not Terrence Crawford, show me something that is similar to that. Say, oh, the fighter I like did this and this and this, and you tell me if it compares to what Oleksandr Usyk does. So going back to Joseph Parker, no, 70-30 is too much. I hope that the Joseph Parker and them come out and say, hey, no, that's not how it has to be. We're going to negotiate with Oleksandr Usyk and make a good deal for him, because we're not going to disrespect Oleksandr Usyk. Let's hope Joseph Parker and them do that, and forget what David Higgins is saying, because like I said before, he's a promoter. You guys keep your eye on Joseph Parker. I haven't seen him act this way before, but David Higgins, they are with Matchroom now. He hanging around Eddie Hearn a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So things could be going on. That when you say stuff like that, A side and all that, that means you don't want to fight. Remember Joshua and Deontay Wilder? I'm the A side. You take a little bit of money, right? Hoping that he say no. And then when he say yeah, then we bring in Povetkin. It's the same thing. You're telling Oleksandr Usyk 70-30 from the beginning. And that just sounds like, for people who are not rolling with Joe, that sounds like his promoter David Higgins is saying, we don't want Joe Parker to fight him. So let's see what it is going forward. It's a very interesting. Keep your eye on that one. Dome Sports Talk. Worldwide. I'm up out of here, y'all.